President Donald Trump says the Biden administration mismanaged the response to Hurricane Helene.
And during his most recent trip to North Carolina, Trump accused his predecessor of kicking thousands of people out of temporary housing. Paul Spey checks this claim for PolitiFact.
Did the Biden administration kick 2,000 Helene victims out of government housing? Well, that's what President Trump said the other day during a speech in Swannanoa. Take a look.
Earlier this month, the Biden administration kicked 2,000 displaced North Carolinians out of their temporary housing into freezing 20-degree weather. I don't know how they did that one because it was cold.
Is he right about that? Well, not exactly. Ahead of a snowstorm in mid-January, FEMA announced that thousands of Helene victims in their transitional sheltering program no longer qualified and needed to leave their hotel rooms by January 11th. This was reported by multiple news outlets, including WBTV here in Charlotte. FEMA said it was going to stop paying for rooms for people who either, one, had homes that were now livable, according to an inspector, two, declined to allow an inspection of their home, or three, people that they just couldn't get in touch with. But FEMA faced a lot of pushback for doing this when a big snowstorm was coming. So on January 9th, they announced they were briefly extending the deadline for people to find other housing. You can see their tweet here. And a few days later, FEMA announced they were extending the deadline again, this time another 4 months, saying the program would end May 26th. So 2,000 people never actually got kicked out. And that description is misleading too. FEMA was just going about business the way it always has, by reviewing people's housing situations and alerting them when their eligibility changed. They did the same thing during the Trump administration too. Check out this FEMA press release from 2018 saying the agency regularly conducted housing reviews to identify hurricane survivors in Texas who were no longer eligible for their program. So the president really mischaracterized what happened here in North Carolina, and that's why the Truth Meter rates his claim mostly false. Read our full fact check at WRAL.com.